Hello, my name is Larry Martin and I'm a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. This week we had the opportunity to attend the Cherwell Global Conference, and one of the questions I was asked was, how do you go about importing data on a scheduled basis? And after talking with the individual, I was like, well, let me create a video on that and we'll be able to show you exactly how to do that. So today we're going to do a video on how to import data into a business object in Cherwell. We're not going to get into all the details of everything that can be done, like staging tables, etc. This particular case is we simply want to import data on a scheduled basis, and we are just going to overwrite everything that's in the system when we do so. So what I've done is I went ahead and created a temporary table just for this demo. It has 3 text fields for each record. So text 1, text 2, text 3. And I created a CSV file that has these values in it. And we've got that stored here. And you can see that sorry for that. You can see that we have our text 1, text 2, text 3 column headings, and then our values for 3 record sets. So how do we make this happen? Well, first and foremost, be aware that wherever the file resides, CSD admin is going to have access to that folder location. Now you can map to a server or UNC path for the file, but the service account on your Cherwell server where the scheduling server runs, that service account must have rights to that location on your network. So whenever I was setting up, I was going to do this from my local machine, but then I remembered that that's not where the scheduling server runs, so I could not do that. So again, you must have access for the service account running your scheduling server to the physical file location that the file is located on. Now in this case, I'm running my server with a service account that runs all of my services, so anywhere that I put it on this server is fine. I'm going to go ahead and clear the data out of the table, and you can see that we now have an empty table. What we're going to do is we're going to come over to the scheduling server. So scheduling, edit, schedule. Setting this up from scratch, you would add. We're going to use the default scheduling group, and we'll give it a name, data import, and I'll delete the other one, data import 2. Then our schedule. We want our schedule to occur on a recurring basis, and we're just going to change this number for now, maybe 1438 Arizona time, because I'm in lovely Phoenix, Arizona. We want it, in this case, I'm just going to set it to be daily, every day, with no end date. Obviously, you could choose weekly, monthly, or yearly for your import. Then our action. Our action is going to be import from file. And this is where it's important that you have that UNC path capability. So we'll hit setup, and the first thing we have to do is we have to set up a stored import definition. I'm real quickly going to grab my path. Okay, so it's at the root. So when you create this, we're going to create new. We're going to say next, and the file name is the demo import data, and it's going to keep your path for you. Again, this can be a UNC path or a map drive or whatever, but the service account has to have rights. Then we're going to import that into my import data demo table. We'll hit next. Text 1 maps to text 1 in the table. Text 2 maps to text 2, etc. You'll have to set up your mappings and make sure that you have the right fields or columns in your file mapped to the field in your object. We'll hit next. We don't have anything additional to set here. We can ignore duplicates if we think there might be any. I know there aren't in mine. Delete existing data. So in this particular instance, the client or the individual wanted to just clear out the data and import new data on a regularly scheduled basis. So we'll want to select the delete existing data from the import. We'll hit next. We'll give it a name, demo of importing, just to make sure it's a new name. Next, and we'll finish. You could test import, but we're just going to say finish for now. Now we have our demo of importing. We're going to close, and notice there's nothing here. We have to hit setup again, select the item, and now we have our import set up for the scheduled job. We get a little warning that the existing data will be deleted. That's because we selected that we want the data to be deleted. You can set up error handling just like you do with other scheduled jobs. Now that we've set this up, we can hit OK. And we're going to delete this first one. And now we're going to go back in here and edit the scheduled job, because as you can see, our time is 14:31. So I'm going to set it to 14:32 so we can actually see it run. Now again, we could hit test to go ahead and run it now, but we're just going to let the system do the run. So it'll be a few minutes. I will pause the video, and once everything's ran, I will cut out the empty space and we'll continue on. Alright, as you can see, my clock has changed to 14:32, so we'll refresh. We're still in a status of pending, and I'll continue to refresh until we see a status of running. And now that we're running, we'll give it a few minutes to run. I'll continue to hit refresh until we see complete or possibly an error. And our job has completed. We're now in a status of pending. Let's see what our last run states. It states that it completed. So if we go into the rich client, we refresh with F5, there's our data. Now, to really show the other part of this, we're going to go ahead and create a new record, and we're just going to put test as values. The reason for that is I want you to see that the scheduled job will actually clear the data and set our 3 records back in there. So we have 4 records now. If I go to the scheduled job, I'm just going to run test instead of recycling the scheduling. This will take a few minutes, so I'll end up cutting the video a little bit just to remove some of the blank space here. Now that we've completed, I'll close that, and we expect 3 records in our rich client. So F5 to refresh, and there the import has removed all data and re-imported the data that's in our file. Anyhow, I hope you find this useful. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We produce videos every week. If you have a question, feel free to leave it in the channel, tweet us or email us, and someone will reply and or will create a video showing you how to accomplish what you've asked. Thank you.